Have you ever had the experience where you know you should do something like go to work on time or get ready for an important meeting or just brush your teeth before bed, but you just couldn't do it? Everybody procrastinates sometimes, but for people who experienced abuse and neglect in childhood, procrastinating can morph into a paralysis of sorts. I've had this happen. I've spent whole seasons in this place before, and I'll tell you, it is so demoralizing when it's happening to know that you're in the world to do good, but something in you is not letting you do it. So what is that, and how can you change? This is the third video in a series of 3 I'm releasing this week to talk about the surprising way that what you eat can not only drag you down physically, but it can influence your cognitive abilities, your ability to learn. It can influence your mood for better or for worse, and it can influence your energy level, specifically your energy and enthusiasm and willingness to take action in your life. When those are lacking, what you experience is procrastination. When you break through procrastination, your life gains purpose and order and momentum. And these are exactly what you need to overcome bad things that happen in your past. That's what you need. And to get busy becoming all you're meant to be. So I want to highlight that connection, that what you eat can influence what you do and what you can envision for yourself and whether you have the power inside yourself to keep moving forward on that. So eating badly, for me, and for a lot of people who are neglected and abused as kids, usually means overeating on highly processed and specifically sugary and high carbohydrate foods like 3 bowls of cereal at night or 8 pieces of toast in the morning with jam or giant bowls of pasta. This kind of eating is comforting at first, and then it's exhausting, and then it's depressing. It is. And whatever's going on in your circumstances and your personality that's leading you to procrastinate, a bad diet has a way of locking you into it. Not always, but ask yourself, when you've been the most unable to take action on your behalf, your own behalf, when you felt the most stuck and paralyzed and missed out on opportunities and relationships because of procrastination, was part of the problem that you felt lethargic all the time? And if so, was the food you were eating part of the reason? It's weird, right? Now that I eat lightly, my meals give me energy. When I was overeating, my meals made me unable to move forward. I'd have to sleep afterwards sometimes. Not only physically did I not want to move, but mentally trying to get anything done sounded just like hard and chaotic and uncomfortable. And yet when you're stuck, the one thing that needs to happen is that you take action. And until you do, the lethargy and depression will only sink down harder on you. So in the past year, I realized that all the years where I thought I overate because I was stressed or tired or feeling down, I realized that most of the time I was stressed and tired and feeling down because I'd overeaten. Now, of course, life problems and world problems are sometimes the reason why I have those feelings, but it still always benefits me to have a clear head and a good baseline of emotional steadiness, and I get that from the way I eat. Now, I knew that food and mood went together, but I just had the cause and effect turned around, and the way this was made clear to me was because I changed the way I eat, and I stopped eating sugary, floury foods that used to, full of flour, baked goods, that kind of thing, that used to be my favorite go-to cure-all when things got hard. It felt like they steadied me. And when I followed a healthier way of eating, within just a few weeks, I just didn't get as stressed. And I didn't get as tired, and my mood was just better and more evenly, even throughout the day, energy, mood, all of it, just more even. And I realized that all that time I was eating that stuff, I was procrastinating. They really do go together. I still procrastinate sometimes, I'm human. But so I follow this food plan. It's called Bright Line Eating. And I've been talking about it in a few videos this week because it turns out that it's one of just a small handful of things I've personally benefited from that's helped me with my CPTSD symptoms. I know there's a lot of things out there. I'm not saying this food plan is for everybody, but this week I want to, be more open and tell you what this experience has been for me, because if you're like me, it's quite possible you would get the same good benefits, and I think it's worth a try. So I first started on Bright Line Eating about 5 years ago when I first learned about it, and I did it to lose weight. I did lose weight too. I lost 40 pounds. And it was great. It was such a relief. I could just wear one size of clothes. I could put away the 4 other sizes of clothes that I keep stored in all these boxes with a weight number written on them for different sizes as my weight's gone up and down, because I never really had a way to eat that was reliable to just be one good right-sized weight. And after that major weight loss, it didn't happen at first. It took a little while, but gradually I just abandoned the program. I felt like, okay, I lost the weight. Now I want to go back to eat normally, what I considered normally. It is normal, it's common. Lots of people eat that way, but it really doesn't actually suit my body. It doesn't suit me. So I gradually gained the weight back. First, 75% of it. The pandemic took it all the way back to all of it back. I've actually heard that just 1% of people who try to lose weight on any given year are actually going to lose it and keep it off long term. 1%. So there's no shame in being part of the other 99%. It's common and normal. So I was hoping that I could just get to that size I wanted and go back to eating. Now that I'm in my 50s, my body can't handle that. So I always equated dieting with, a temporary food restriction, and then you get how you want to look. And of course, I would love to look, tall and thin and gorgeous all the time. But even more than that, at this point in my life, I want energy and presence and confidence so that I can do my life. My life has more opportunity in it than I've ever had before. I love doing Crappy Childhood Fairy. I want to bring to it the very best of myself that I can. I mean that. I want to change the way the world understands childhood trauma, and I want everyone who treats trauma to understand what it's actually like and what helps us and how we heal. And most of all, I want everybody who has CPTSD to have an opportunity to have tools that totally make a difference and liberate them. That's genuinely important to me. So all that energy and inspiration, it gets really squashed down by bad eating. And when I eat well, it is liberated. And what I find in myself is I spring into action. So I eat in a way that gives me the energy and the brain power that I need to do what I'm on earth to do. No more dragging my feet, no more blotting out stress in a way that makes me more stressed. I'm facing my life, I'm taking responsibility for it, I'm taking care of the way I eat, which, by the way, does not come naturally to me. And the first time that I got bright, that's what we call it when we eat this way, I'm bright, I ended up transforming my little blog into a YouTube channel. And then I made my first online course and I created a website for it. And I did all of this after hours. I had a day job. I had a video production company. It was very consuming. And so it was in my spare time that I started Crappy Childhood Fairy. When I got bright, I was able to turn it into a whole thing with students and income and a positive effect on the world within about a year. So during that first year, I also cleaned out my closets. I got rid of old clothes that no longer fit, which was most of them. I joined Toastmasters so that I could get better at speaking and being on camera. I remember, in my early videos, if you can ever find them, I'm sort of like this, I'm all wiggly. And in Toastmasters, I learned just stand still, look there, stop saying It was really helpful, but I just didn't have energy and courage to go take these bold steps until I was eating this way, and I didn't really see the connection at first. When I got bright, I was on fire. So when I fell away from this way of eating, it's not like everything collapsed at once, but everything took so much energy. And do you know that feeling? Sometimes you just jump into activities with enthusiasm and you know what you want to do, and you can't wait to get started. And sometimes you have to force yourself to do every little thing. And if someone's not waiting and counting on you or paying you to do it, you find a way not to do it. Well, that forcing is what it's like when I eat junk. When I don't, the procrastination fog lifts off of me and I get back in action. People with trauma sometimes overdo things. I have. And sometimes people with trauma can't get out of bed. So for procrastination, there's no fortune cookie wisdom that solves it in one sentence. It's just focused action that turns everything around. And the focused action needs to be sustained over time. So what is it that you're procrastinating on? What are you avoiding? Is it clearing clutter? Is it making a phone call to somebody you know you need to apologize to? Is it getting to the doctor so you can get a lump on your breast checked? Is it getting out of the house so that you can break a pattern of isolation? You can easily see how much is at stake when you don't have the power to do these things that are in your best interest. You know the right thing to do, but you don't do it. And the cost is not only to your health and your relationships and your career. The cost, when you know you should do something and say you'll do it, but you don't do it, is your sense of integrity. And that's what I was losing a little bit each time that I reached for those foods that gave me a little lift and then made me sluggish. My integrity. It's a vicious circle, isn't it? The more demoralized you feel, the more you lose the power to make a positive change. And this is a big reason why childhood trauma plays out in so many self-defeating behaviors until we heal. Changing my eating has taken many, many tries. I've failed, I've tried again, I've failed, I've tried again. But the thing about the way I eat now is that if I can just get through the first week or two, it gets so much easier. And it also helps that I follow a plan. I write it down every day, I follow that. I didn't make this up, it's a plan that's flexible, it's healthy, and it accommodates different ways that people like to eat, vegan, vegetarian, meat. There's a community around it, most importantly. That's a very important thing. I have a buddy within the Crappy Childhood Fairy team, and we talk every day on Marco Polo and support each other and celebrate all the good things happening because we are bright. I show her my food, I show her what I made today, I show her some restaurant menu where I'm struggling to figure out what I'm going to eat, and we just talk about stuff going on in life. And sometimes I show her like a new pair of jeans I got. It's a lovely, lovely way of supporting each other, and it makes all the difference for me. So we also have in my membership program for Crappy Childhood Fairy, which is all focused on, healing trauma, we have a good number of people who follow this same food plan, Bright Line Eating. A lot of us use the daily practice techniques and follow Bright Line Eating, and we find that they just fit together like a hand in a glove. Eating this way deepens the clarity and calm that I get in my daily practice. And I teach that for free, by the way. Link is always below in the description section. But doing the daily practice gets me regulated enough that I can even begin to eat intentionally and stick to a plan instead of like a raccoon who's found a picnic basket. The two go together. Since I've been bright this time, I've gotten caught up on so many things that have been like languishing on my to-do list, and reaching out to people I love who I knew I had been neglecting. I've painted my office, it's gorgeous. I'm taping this in a completely different room. It's much better set up for me. No more climbing over tripods and cables to get to my desk where I do all my desk work. So I feel good, I feel optimistic, and I feel clear-headed. I almost never recommend anything outside the Crappy Childhood Fairy program to my people here, to you. People ask me practically every day, and I'm just like, no, I only share things that I have found personally helpful, and this is one of them. It's remarkable. So the person who created it, her name is Dr. Susan Pierce Thompson. She's single-handedly moved the science of weight loss forward several giant steps. And did I mention I lost 10 pounds this month? Feels great. And like a lot of people, I came to this program to lose weight, and I discovered a really positive way of life. So this is my rare endorsement to you, people with CPTSD. If food and weight are an issue for you, I recommend checking out Bright Line Eating and trying it with the writing and meditation techniques that I teach. And these two together have genuinely moved my healing forward. So if you want to learn how to eat this way, Susan Pierce Thompson has these webinars, and they're free. And she and her team have allowed me to partner with them to share the links to her work. You'll find that in the description section below. And if you missed my recent video about CPTSD and weight loss, I've got that right here, and I will see you very soon.